So the NBA offseason is now in full swing. The draft's now over, and a few things going on in the trade market. Let's talk about what's going on in the NBA. Let's start off with the biggest trade so far, the Mavericks getting Christian Wood. In return, the Rockets are getting Boban Marjanovic, Trey Burke, Marquise Chris, Sterling Brown, and the number 26 overall pick, which ended up being Wendell Moore. This trade is kind of weird for both sides. The Mavs didn't really fill any needs. What they really needed is defense. But Christian Wood is just like a very upgraded Maxi Kleber. Sure, he'll be a good second option, but the Mavs didn't give up any valuable pieces besides Boban. But yeah, I think it was an alright trade for the Mavericks. Didn't really move the needle at all, but they improved a little bit. Second deal I want to talk about is Jeremy Grant going to the Blazers for a future pick. This is a fleece for the Blazers, just in the terms of the trade package. Detroit getting off that contract is big for this offseason, as now they have $50 million almost in cap space. Portland only gives up the 2025 pick, which isn't even theirs, it's via Milwaukee. But Portland adds exactly what they need. A 3-and-D player who's a great wing defender, and Portland gives up next to nothing to get him. Outstanding trade for Portland. But let's head to the biggest part of the offseason, the NBA draft. Paolo Banchero gets selected number 1 overall. We kind of expected this. He's the safest option out of the top 3. But yeah, Orlando hasn't had a direction for their franchise in a decade. And let's hope he doesn't waste his career there. The second overall pick was Chet Holmgren going to the Oklahoma City Thunder. I really like this pick. You got the thin towers, and now maybe you got a future big 3 of Shea, Giddey, and Holmgren. Definitely like it. I'm not as concerned about his frame as others. He's never really had many injury issues, and putting on NBA lifting programs, he'll get bigger. The third overall pick was Jabari Smith going to the Houston Rockets. They were left with whoever the other 2 didn't take out of the big 3, but still a good pick. No, he'll probably never be a guy that's going to be a main ball handler, but he just doesn't need to be on this team. He's a great wing defender and a great shooter, but he lacks in rim protection, which you kind of want your 6'10 forward to do. I think he'll be good in the NBA. Everyone thinks he's going to be this KD type player, but that's just not his game. The number 4 pick was Keegan Murray going to the Sacramento Kings. Many thought the Kings would trade this pick, already having too many guards and the best player available being a guard. But who really knows what the Kings are doing, or ever doing. I like Keegan, but he's kind of like a Harrison Barnes type player, who I could easily see them moving this offseason. Kings have some players I like, but I just never see them putting it together. But hopefully they'll prove me wrong. The 5th pick was the Detroit Pistons taking Jaden Ivey at 5th overall. I love this pick. Pistons won the draft for a second straight year, also trading for Jalen Duren, and signing Kemba Walker, who I assume is just a veteran presence to help out their 2 young guards. But a future backcourt of Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey is going to be electric. They're going to fit perfectly together. They still got Sadiq Bey and Jalen Duren now. I love where this team is headed. Looks like the Pistons have a direction for the first time in decades. Number 6 overall was Benedict Mathurin going to the Indiana Pacers. They took the best player available, but it still fits their team. A lot think they're going to move Malcolm Brogdon, and the Pacers are in a complete rebuild, so looking towards the future, Tyrese Halliburton and Benedict Mathurin will work perfectly together. Benedict sort of reminds me of Jaylen Brown, but worse on the defensive end. But I really like his athletic upside, and he's a pretty good shooter. Definitely one of my favorite picks in this draft. Number 7 overall pick was the Portland Trailblazers taking Shaedon Sharpe. Now, no one knows what this guy is going to be. Super athlete, 6'5", 6'11" wingspan, and he's got a good shooting stroke.
That's what I'm saying. Stroke that thing, bro.
What? But we only have his high school tape on this guy. He sat out the year at Kentucky, and we just have no idea what this guy is going to be going up against the top competition. But he doesn't have to be an impact player right away, just like every NBA rookie, and he can learn from Damian Lillard. A lot of people wanted Portland to trade this pick. OG Anunoby was a solid option, or maybe draft someone that would help them more now, which the NBA draft is not like that. But I love this pick. Maybe a little biased being a Portland fan, but this definitely helps them out for the future. And maybe now, we still don't know what Shaedon's going to do. But yeah, those are all the real big impact players. Some of the picks I liked later down the board were obviously the Pistons getting Jalen Duren, which I already talked about. The Hawks drafting AJ Griffin. This guy's a good defender and a good three-point shooter, and he'll be a great player next to Trae Young. I also like the Nuggets drafting Christian Braun. He's going to fit the typical NBA role player. He'll hit his shots, play defense, play hard. Last pick I like is Patrick Baldwin going to the Golden State Warriors. It was so late in the draft, and Patrick Baldwin had a disappointing season at Milwaukee, but this was a top 5 player in high school last year. And in the Warriors development room, you don't know what he could do. Time after time, we've seen them turn a late pick into someone great. And Pat Baldwin definitely has the tools to do this in the NBA. But yeah, that's what's been going on in the NBA offseason so far. And I'll see you on the next video. See you later.